Hey everybody, so new week, new information about Tanki Classic. Now, I'd say this week's information is by far the most confusing information we've had so far in, stuff coming out for Tanki Classic, but I've looked through the vlog about 5 to 10 times now to try and understand it a little bit better, and let's just go ahead and go through it.
To understand what Classic would be like, remember the rebalance and cancel it. The first thing you need to know is the rank system. We won't stop at Marshal since we think the more ranks there are in the game, the more interesting it is to progress in it. Thus, Legend was chosen as the final rank.
So I kind of like this idea, although I don't really think I connect the Legend rank with old Tanki as much as I do the Generalissimo rank. So I kind of would have preferred the Generalissimo rank just because when you think of old Tanki, you don't really think of the Legend rank. When was the Legend rank even added? Like 2018, maybe earlier? Oh no, wow, 2016. Even then, for some reason, I just think of 2016, that time period, being Generalissimo. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that.
Also, it is worth reminding you that in old Tanki, progress was 4 times slower than in the current version.
Yes, exactly. I want that.
This will also be the case in Classic.
Awesome. So being hard or making it harder to rank up, in my opinion, is good because then you're not going to just zoom through Tanki Classic when it first comes out. It's going to take you 4 times as long, so that's a good change right there.
The second point to pay attention to is the cost of equipment. Pre-rebalance prices will return for all turrets and hulls. You can expect to see Twins, Railgun and Thunder for the same price as 13 years ago. Yes, we are talking about the equipment generations.
For those who didn't play the game before the rebalance, equipment generations mean that at first, simpler turrets are available in the game, and then the more powerful ones. Equipment generations will return in Classic, but this doesn't mean that old turrets won't be relevant. On the contrary, they will be able to be equal in power to new equipment. Now we can allow ourselves to make the most important change in the game that completely removes the need for rebalance. Whatever rank you purchase your equipment at, your M3 tank will be equal to any other M3 tank. In other words, if you upgrade Wasp and Smokey to M3 at the beginning of the game in the Sergeant ranks, then you can keep playing it until the Legend rank, without purchasing any other tank. The game won't force you to. Wasp Smokey M3 will be equal to M3 equipment of any other generation, including skins.
Equipment will be available on the same ranks as before the rebalance, forming the first and second generations of equipment. All turrets added after the rebalance like Hammer and Vulcan will be a continuation of the second generation, and all new skins tanks will be the third, fourth and fifth equipment generation.
So basically what this means is you're not going to be able to get these second generation turrets until later in the game, and these first turrets will be what you can of course unlock early on, and then you can get them to the max rank of M3 pretty early on in the game. And when I say early, I mean before the warrant officer ranks, which I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But basically, you'll get these turrets first, Smoky Firebird, Twins, Aceta, Railgun, early in the game, and you'll be able to upgrade them early in the game as well. And then later in the game, you'll be able to get these turrets, and then you can upgrade these to M3 pretty early on as well. And then after you get all these turrets, then you can start unlocking the 3rd, 4th, and 5th gen, which of course are the other skins. So it sounds like they're more so correlating the skin type with the strength of the turret, or I'm not exactly sure what augments will be on the different skins, but that'll pretty much determine how good the skins are.
We have recovered the original formulas used in setting prices from before the rebalance, and with them we've managed to set the pricing for each tank in new equipment generations up until the Legend rank. Trust me, there will be something to save crystals for.
That means that at low ranks, Tanki Classic will be similar to pre-rebalanced Tanki, and only as your rank increases will the new elements appear in the game. I forgot to mention the most important thing: micro upgrades. There won't be any micro upgrades.
So I like this idea, but okay, it's weird to say this, but I did like micro upgrades. Now, it's definitely good we're not getting them in terms of pure saving your crystals, not having to spend all your crystals on micro upgrades. But I feel like micro upgrades were such a big part of Old Tanki, I automatically connect micro upgrades with Old Tanki. I mean, it's definitely more beneficial not to have them because it's a lot less tedious to have to use all your micro upgrades. So that's nice. but also I connect old my. It's kind of one of those things where it's good, but also I'm gonna miss micro upgrades. So that's my opinion on that.
Upgrade your tanks to M3 and enjoy your favorite equipment.
But to be honest, we looked at the results and thought it was not enough. And we decided to increase the funds in Classic by 25%.
That's pretty nice, so it won't take as long to save up crystals for different upgrades.
And so you definitely have enough for the new equipment. All of these changes will make Classic unique and completely different from the current Tanki Online.
We are not only canceling the rebalance, we are going to the future in a parallel branch of history, where the rebalance has never happened, and new equipment continues to appear in the game at higher and higher ranks.
I don't think you should be able to get the different upgrades that early in the game. I preferred it a lot more when the progression of your turret correlated with the progression of going throughout the game. You guys remember how Asita and Mammoth and Firebird were those early M1 turrets you could get upgraded first? I like that idea, whereas now you're going to have a certain select amount of turrets in the beginning, and those will all be able to be maxed out by the time you get to the second selection, and those will all be able to be maxed out once you get to the third section, which is the skin section, where I guess that's the growth of the turret. But I enjoyed seeing the different modifications of the turrets in the game, and I preferred that progression as compared to what we're getting here, whereas I'm not that huge of a fan of the new generations as I was the old MO3 M3 system. It was just a lot more simpler, and this makes it a bit more complex. I don't know what movie it was from, but it was a saying like, keep it simple, stupid. Like Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. I think they should apply that to this. Like, the old system worked. I don't think you need to have this mix of the old system of this generations, the middle system of MO3 M3, and then this new system of the XT and then Prime and Legacy skins being their own generation. It just sounds more complicated than what Tanki Classic needs to be. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let's get to the next part, which is purchasable stuff.
Before the launch of the project for everyone, we are getting ready for early access. Its point is simple. Players can see how the pre-rebalance system works for themselves.
For those who can't wait for Classic, there will soon be 3 special early access offers. For each one, your game account in Tanki Online is needed. The shop showcase will have 3 special offers with different contents. These offers will let us know how serious you are about it. The project will stay free with the ability to subscribe. We talked about it back in the New Year Vlog episode 519. All special offers in the showcase will be for the caring players and true fans that want to contribute to the test and, moreover, influence Tanki Classic in its early stages.
Okay, so there's 3 bundles you can buy in normal Tanki Online. I believe when this video is out, so if you're going to end up buying any of those, don't forget, creator tag Taspens. Go to settings, account, and use my creator tag. It just helps me out a ton. But I don't know. I mean, these are cool. I mean, it's not like you're getting too much in Tanki Classic, apart from 200 normal containers. I mean, containers are supposed to be hard to get, so if you start out with 200, immediately, containers are already valued far less than what they should be in terms of rarity, so I'm not a huge fan of this idea, because it's just, containers are supposed to be this most valuable thing in the game, and immediately, just by spending money, you get 200. And I know Hazel said he doesn't want you to be able to purchase containers in the actual Tanki Classic game, and this technically is a way around it, so I hope they don't do this in the future where they just add normal Tanki Online bundles where you can get stuff in both, because keeping containers rare is one of the best parts about Tanki Classic, because we actually care about containers again.
The contents of those containers will be revealed a bit later, when we start selling the special offers. But for now, you can expect animated paints.
Yeah, animated paints are going to be in the containers. That's kind of obvious.
Including synesthesia and skin stanks in the exotic category.
And then you can get skins. Okay, this is where it doesn't make sense, because if they're doing the whole generations thing, and the skins are the end generations, where once you get your turrets and holes ranked up, you then go for the next generation, which is skins. I don't get how that's going to work with getting them from containers, so it's kind of stuff that'll have to be figured out when we actually get the game. All right, so here are the offers. The first one is 1,990 tank coins, meaning you have to spend money if you don't have tank coins. You get 1,000 rubies, a bronze pass, which is this pass in current Tanki Online. I'm not sure if it's just a medal on your account or what it is. But yeah, those are the 2 rewards for the first one. And then you, of course, get to reserve your nickname in Tanki Classic. I mean, that's not a big deal to me. I mean, I don't mind if my name in Tanki Classic is Taspens, but it's not the end of the world if someone takes it. The next offer is 6,000 tank coins. You get your nickname reservation, early access to the Tanki Classic beta. That's pretty nice. And the veteran paint. Only in Tanki Classic, though. The veteran paint, we'll show it later, but it's a cool paint. And then this is the only time you'll ever be able to get the veteran paint. So I'm sure a lot of people will be buying this bundle to secure that paint. And then of course in normal Tanki Online you get 3,000 rubies and this silver pass medal. Again, I'm not sure what the medals are yet. And then finally this last offer is 20,000 tank coins. You get the nickname reservation, the early access, the veteran paint, and then 200 normal containers, which I talked about earlier. And then a normal Tanki Online, you get 10,000 rubies and a gold pass medal. But this is 20,000 tank coins, so it's pretty expensive.
Unity.
And then here's the veteran paint, obviously one of the best paints in the game. And you're only able to get it if you buy that bundle. It's neat, dude. Even I'm thinking about spending money in normal Tanki Online to get this. And I haven't spent money in Tanki Online in like 3-4 years. I mean, I was already planning on getting the premium pass for Tanki Classic just to support the game.
Please note that it won't be available to you in Tanki Online forever. Your first and last chance to get this paint.
Purchasing the second and third special offers grants their owners special rights. Tankers become participants of classic tests, where they can give their unbiased feedback about all the features we announced earlier. Adding to that, you will not only show your interest in classic, but also will receive the exclusive right to vote if a certain feature should stay in the game. This way, the majority of votes of the most loyal fans will decide how the classic will be for everyone else.
So if you buy the bundle, you also get to select what stays and what gets removed. I guess this idea is okay, but I don't know. There's some things like overdrives, like they were showing here, overdrives. Like clearly we should not be getting overdrives in Tanki Classic. That's something that should be universally agreed upon by Tanki, because even suggesting that we might get overdrives is kind of worrying a little bit.
Exclusive right to vote.
With overdrives. If most people vote yes, the feature...
I don't know how important it is to clarify that please do not add overdrives to Tanki Classic. I mean, I'm already annoyed the fact that skins or whole skins in the game are having overdrives, but please, for the love of everything, do not add overdrives to the Tanki Classic. Then it's not even Tanki Classic anymore. It's a hybrid of current Tanki and old Tanki. And that's not what we're looking for, so... Please, no overdrives. I mean, it's not hard. You know people don't want overdrives. Don't add overdrives. I don't get it.
Will stay in the game. If most vote no, we won't delete the overdrives from the game, but they will be turned off by default. However, they can still function in battles with your own rules. Dependent cooldowns, augments in skins, overdrives, etc. Each point, each feature depends on your vote. It is important to think carefully when voting and remember your responsibility for Classics features. That's it for today.
So I'm still a little bit, I don't know what to think, because in current Tanki Online, you can create pro battles of maps that feel like Tanki Classic while turning off overdrives, augments, and all that stuff. So it's kind of weird. They're explaining like, oh, we're going to add these things, but you can turn them off. Okay, yeah, you're going to have these things, but it's going to be normal Tanki Online at that point. The whole point of Tanki Classic is that it does not have these things to begin with. Because remember, in pro battles, you can turn off the things you don't like. So what's going to be the difference between doing that in current Tanki pro battles and doing that in old Tanki pro battles? I don't know. It's a lot to think about. They shouldn't even be adding overdrives, augments, anything like that in Tanki Classic, because this is Tanki Classic, not Tanki Online and Tanki Old combined into one. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll see you in a future video. Peace out, everybody.